Get ready for Super Bowl Party 26.
Can I help you? I think I can. I'm your biggest Super Bowl fan. Can I help you? I think I can. I'm your biggest Super Bowl fan. Can I help you? I'm your biggest Super Bowl fan. Can I help you? I'm your biggest.
Now, here are your hosts for Super Bowl Party 26, Phyllis Gavin and Ken Resnick.
Hi, everybody. No other sporting event in the world creates so much pregame hoopla and excitement as the Super Bowl. And this year's Super Bowl 26 between the Buffalo Bills and Washington Redskins is no exception.
That's for sure, Ken. 60,000 people will descend on the Twin Cities for Super Bowl 26. An additional 5,000 to 10,000 non-ticket holders will show up just to party. Over 3,000 reporters from around the world are here to cover this incredible event.
The Super Bowl has become much more than just a showdown between the two best teams in football. It's a real party extravaganza, and that's what this show is all about.
We brought our cameras here to catch all the action. We'll go behind the scene and look in on interviews with players, coaches, and NFL alumni. We'll check out visiting celebrities, too. You never know who will show up and join in on all the fun.
We'll also check out fired-up fans in bars and restaurants in Washington, Buffalo, and right here in the Twin Cities. We'll even, Phyllis, take in a few of the Super Bowl parties that the average fan never sees, and we'll hang out with the true Super Bowl elite.
Special events are happening every day, too. From an NFL alumni football game to the Super Bowl 26 football clinic, which, Ken, I think the kids are going to love, to the first ever NFL theme park.
That's the one event I'm really looking forward to seeing. And in addition, we'll take you on a tour of the Twin Cities. We'll show you why it's such a unique place to live. We'll also walk you through the skyways that link downtown Minneapolis together. It's a real beehive of activity filled with musicians, dancers, comedians, contests, autograph parties, and much, much more, including the NFC and AFC official headquarters. Minneapolis is actually calling it the Party Under Glass.
No trip to the Twin Cities this time of year would be complete without St. Paul's spectacular winter carnival with its pristine 150-foot ice castle built from 30,000 blocks of ice and cut from one of the 10,000 local lakes.
And finally, our intrepid reporters will seek to track down the quintessential Super Bowl fan, that person who exhibits the true nature of the perfect Super Bowl fan.
We've got a lot to cover, so let's get started by seeing who's got the inside track for predicting the final score for Super Bowl 26.
What's the score going to be?
17-13.
27-17.
31-21.
31-24.
Washington's going to win the game, but not by 7, maybe by a field goal at the end.
28-14. 21 points.
27-7 probably.
Buffalo's going to win the game by, I'd say, 30 points.
I have no idea. That's Brandon. I don't know.
30-17.
I don't know. She's the fan.
Something like 35-28 might not be a bad score.
30 to maybe 30-21.
35-17.
I love Buffalo.
56-0, Dustskins. 45-43.
23-16. Redskins by 2 touchdowns.
35-3 Redskins.
Skins going to dominate them.
Bills, definitely.
24-10. 17-10.
31-20.
I have no idea.
35-29. 28.
34-7.
Washington by 2 touchdowns.
Mid-20s, but pretty close.
Washington got the nod.
35-10. I'm hoping the Buffalo Bills will win.
47-20.
What do you think?
42-31.
17-7.
The Skins by a missed Norwood field goal.
24-23 with Norwood kicking a winning field goal.
Buffalo by 10.
45-0.
Redskins.
27-17. 34-10.
31-17.
21-17.
19's probably Washington.
You really don't know? You just heard somebody say Washington?
Him.
If he'd have said the Twins, would you have said the Twins?
Probably. It's going to be a high-scoring game.
38-35.
I'm going to give you a score.
35-31.
36-28.
Redskins. I said Redskins.
Washington by 2 touchdowns.
34-10.
35-33.
28-10.
Redskins.
21-0.
31-14.
I'm hoping Detroit makes it over there. No comment.
No. Colts are gone.
Redskins.
Vikings by 7.
No other fan quite compares to the ultimate Super Bowl fan. Jim Cunningham brings us this report.
How about another helping of my goalpost peach pie,
No,
Jimmy?
please. Well, maybe just one more piece. Hi, this is Jim Cunningham in St. Paul. I'm in the home of Edna Kribnick. She is a homemaker, a mother, and super fan, huh?
Hello, America.
So, Edna, tell us what the Kribnick household is going to be like during the big game today.
Oh, I just finished fixing all the food for Super Sunday last night.
Really? Well, what's on the menu?
Timing is everything, Jimmy. So, during the pregame show, I'll be serving the appetizers. Piping hot play-action pizza puffs. Then, after the game started, there'll be wide receiver wine coolers and kickoff quiche.
Wow. Boy, that sounds good, huh?
And at halftime, well, depending on who's winning, I'll be serving Washington Redskin rump roast or Buffalo Bills bratwurst.
I'm almost too full for dessert.
Oh, dessert, I almost forgot. Well, in honor of the Super Bowl being in Minnesota this year, I have whipped up something special. Field goal freezies and sub-zero snow cones.
Ooh, boy, that sounds like a winner to me.
Ernie, hurry up, hon, we'll be late.
Heck, Edna, it's almost game time. Where are you going?
Well, my husband has to drive me to the game, silly.
Well, what about this tradition of family fun, all this food and stuff?
Well, the family's just going to have to eat without me this year. I just have to be at the Metrodome. He'll be there.
Oh, Jim Kelly. Mark Ripp?
Oh, no. Oh, I feel giddy as a schoolgirl even mentioning his name. Pat Summerall. Oh, it all started when I first saw him at a Giants game. He was a place kicker, you know, that's my favorite. And he was so handsome. Well, it was just a silly little extra point. But when he walked out onto that field, I swear my heart skipped a beat. Well, he was just about to kick when I jumped up and screamed his name. I think he heard me, too, because he shanked it. Oh, Mr. Summerall is so cute when he's angry. I just have to give him a big hug.
Well, good luck to you, Edna. I'm sure Mr. Summerall will love to see you again. So, for Edna Kribnick, this is Jim Cunningham in St. Paul. We'll go back to you, Ken and Phyllis.
Ask anyone from the east or west coast about Minnesota, and the words frozen tundra usually spring to their lips. So you ask yourself, what kind of place is this to hold the biggest sporting event of the year? Minnesota, land of snow, sub-zero wind chill, and 10,000 frozen lakes? In fact, the Twin Cities beat all the odds and became only the second northern city to host a Super Bowl. One look around at this beautiful city and you quickly realize why the NFL chose this vibrant area as the site of Super Bowl 26.
Minneapolis and St. Paul, home of the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome and over 2.2 million friendly fresh air fanatics. Here, people have learned to take what nature gives them and turn it into fun. And if the lakes freeze over, no problem. Just drill a hole, set up a house, and go fishing. Whole towns spring up this way. Like most big cities, the Twin Cities boast glimmering skyscrapers reaching up to the clouds. But unlike most big cities, you can walk all around downtown Minneapolis and St. Paul and never feel the chill of the cold winter wind. That's because in Minneapolis alone, over 34 city blocks of offices, retail stores, and restaurants are linked together by an extensive system of second-story skyways. It may be 10 degrees below zero outside, but it's a comfy 70 degrees in here. Over 90,000 people travel the Skyway system each workday. In fact, many of the exciting Super Bowl activities are taking place in these Skyways. As you can see, it really is the Super Bowl party under glass. Minnesota's bustling economy is fueled by many of our country's corporate giants. 3M, Honeywell, Control Data, General Mills, Pillsbury, Dayton-Hudson, and many more all call the Twin Cities home. Minnesota's also home to 4 professional franchises. Twin Cityans don't lack for nightlife either. Downtown Minneapolis and St. Paul light up the night with the best of them. On the cultural side, Minnesotans don't lack for variety either. Boasting the world-renowned Guthrie Theater, Walker Art Center, and Orchestra Hall. Minnesota ranks second only to New York in live theater. And since 1984, more than 50 top 40 songs were recorded in Minnesota or recorded by Minnesota artists. Our life expectancy is the second highest in the United States. Per capita income ranks second highest in the Midwest. Minnesota has more shoreline than California, Florida, and Texas combined. With 949 lakes and 153 parks, there's an acre of parkland for every resident. 93% of Minnesota residents surveyed would rather live here than anywhere else. Besides, who cares what the weather's like outside? In Minnesota, professional football is played indoors at the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome, where it's always a comfy 72 degrees. If all that didn't convince you that Minnesota is a great place for Super Bowl 26, let's talk to the woman responsible for bringing the Super Bowl here.
Well, with me is Marilyn Nelson, and I guess since we're talking about sports, we can say the woman who I think orchestrated one of the greatest upsets in all-time history, outdoing the likes of Tampa, San Diego, Pasadena, to bring the Super Bowl to Minnesota. And first question, obviously, how in the world did you get the Super Bowl to the Twin Cities?
I don't know, but the odds were so bad against us that if I had bet on myself, I could have funded the whole thing.
I believe that.
I mean, but really, well, I think we talked a lot about Minnesota's people. We talked about creativity and energy. We tried to establish credibility that we could actually execute and handle a crowd of 60, 70,000 in our community in the wintertime. If it snows, are you ready? We've got 1,000 snowplows. We have snowplows from all the neighboring communities. It's an army of them. We can put a snowplow in front of every bus if we have to do that.
Well, the lady that pulled off one of the great upsets, Marilyn Nelson. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm so glad you're here. We're going to have a great time at Super Bowl 26 in Minnesota.
Now, the Twin Cities make no attempt to cover up the fact that temperatures often plunge to sub-zero. They also acknowledge that it may well snow a foot on game day, too. But they also say, don't worry, we've got it all covered. And they literally do. Let's take a look at the party under glass.
Lee Walker at AFC Party headquarters in downtown Minneapolis. Lots of things going on here in the atrium. Mike Singletary of the Chicago Bears signing autographs. Right behind me, a local band, the Revelators. Give a listen.
Well, I've been waiting, both hands shaking, the long cold field. Both eyes crossed, memory lost, between the dreams and the real. The situation looks clear cut, both of your eyes above the sun.
As you can see, this is indeed a party under glass. Lee Walker at NFC headquarters in downtown Minneapolis, where local institution Willie Murphy is entertaining the fans.
All that money you're working for, you won't have time to spend.
Party under glass, the quarterback toss for 25 cents, which goes to charity, the United Way. You get 3 chances to throw it through the net. If you do, you win a chance to put in the drawing. Here we go.
Give him the whole basket. He's going to hear it all
Okay, let me see if I got this on the Skyway Trivia Challenge. I go to each of the 4 locations, answer a question at each location, like here it's question 3, who won the first Super Bowl in 1967. Then I fold up my completed entry, put it into the bowl, And if I answered all 4 questions correctly, I qualified to win a drawing for Super Bowl tickets and a bunch of other good stuff, right?
You got it.
It's checking out the locker room challenge. What you do is you go to any one of these number of stores, buy a key, take it to the locker. If it fits and works, you win whatever's inside. Let's see what is. Your prediction on the game? No answer.
Even though it's Saturday afternoon and it's a Super Bowl party.
Our Jim Cunningham's found one entrepreneurial superfan who's found a way to make an honest buck on this year's Super Bowl.
Hi, this is Jim Cunningham outside the Metrodome in Minneapolis, the site of Super Bowl 26. I'm talking today with Dave Souvenirs Sanderson. Hi, Dave.
Oh, hi, Jim. Way to go, team.
So, Dave, where exactly is your booth?
Right here. Yeah. Say hello to my brother, Jerry. He's in charge of inventory control.
Oh. Hello. So, Dave, exactly what kind of souvenirs do you have to show us today?
Well, first off, we've got the Welcome to Minnesota all-weather gripper slipper. These will be a real hot item with those warm weather types. See, this will help them navigate the city sidewalks like nobody's business. Then, once you get inside the dome, take them off. She's a hot dog holder.
Boy, that sure is handy, huh?
Yeah. Speaking of food, here, put this on.
Oh, really? What exactly is this?
Well, you've heard of the Homer hanky and the touchdown towel?
Sure.
This is Jerry's idea. It's a Super Bowl bib. Keep your hands free.
What exactly would I need this bib for?
Well, you keep your hands free, see? Your pop goes in there, extra cheese for your nachos, clips right on there. That way you can whistle when Gloria Estefan sings at halftime.
I see. Dave, all this stuff is really great, but what do you have for the super fan here?
The Super Souvenir. See, Jerry and I want you to take home just a little bit of that Metrodome magic.
Oh.
Look at this.
Oh, boy. What is that, AstroTurf?
Oh, yeah, got it from the end zone. Vikings got down there like twice this season. They'll never miss it.
Well, that figures. Thanks, Dave. That just about does it for us here at the Metrodome. We'll go back to the studio. Thanks, Ken and Phyllis.
Super Bowl 26 boasts more than just one football game. 2 teams of yesteryear have come to Minnesota to do battle once again. The Super Bowl 8 contenders, Miami Dolphins and Minnesota Vikings.
19 of the 28 teams in the National Football League have made it to the Super Bowl. However, only 8 of the 28 have been there more than twice. Now, both the Minnesota Vikings and Miami Dolphins fall into that category. You would think that would bear for a very successful thinking in terms of the Super Bowl, but not quite so for the Minnesota Vikings, as they are still tagged with a 0-win and 4-loss record. But now, in just a few minutes, the Minnesota Vikings, for the first time in franchise history, will have a chance, once again, to win a football game during Super Bowl week. Now, with me is a veteran of the Minnesota Vikings for 10 years. He was at the tight end position, a veteran of 3 Super Bowls. In fact, one of only 2 Minnesota Vikings to catch a touchdown pass in the show, if you will. Stu Voigt. And Stu, what does this game today mean to you?
Well, first of all, Ken, I think it's going to be a lot of fun to renew some old acquaintance with the Dolphins and the Vikings, but I think we'll go after it a little bit and have a little fun and throw the ball around. It's a non-contact game, but as you notice, this field is pretty small, so there's liable to be some collisions.
With me is former Dolphin great Dick Anderson. And Dick, Super Bowl 26, a lot of thoughts on the game.
That's right, but this game today between the 73 Vikings and Dolphins is much more important than the Super Bowl next week.
Freddie Solomon is the quarterback. Mercury Morris is the running back.
With me is one of the all-time great linebackers in the National Football League, former Dolphin Nick Buonacani. And Nick, first off, a bit of a walk down memory lane. You were one of the stars of Super Bowl 8.
Well, this has been great. I think seeing guys like Carl Eller and Bryant and Paul Krause, I mean, it's just been terrific. Joe Kapp, I haven't seen Joe in years, so it's a great reunion. The guys having a ball out here.
This is the official Super Bowl program? Neato.
Never moving, right, Bill?
Waited a long time for that one.
Mercury Morris.
With me is former Dolphin Mercury Morris. And Mercury, first off, congratulations. You're certainly proving one of the stars of this game.
Well, that's because the field is so short.
Do you think Washington will have a problem adjusting to that run and shoot?
I think that Washington will have a problem adjusting to the grounded aspect of them wanting to win because they lost last year.
A couple of real Super Bowl veterans with the Minnesota Vikings, Bill Brown, who played in 3 Super Bowls, and perhaps the daddy of all Minnesota Vikings, Jim Marshall, all 4 Super Bowls. Jim, first off, how have you been getting ready for today?
Well, a lot of thinking.
any physical training?
Yeah, I've I worked on a treadmill and did some things on the Stairmaster and ran some steps at home. I loosened my whole body up.
I won't say who told me, Joe. They said that's the best spiral you ever threw.
I'm standing with Joe Kapp, the first quarterback to take the Minnesota Vikings to a Super Bowl. And Joe, your thoughts on Super Bowl 26?
Well, I think that Buffalo, because they've most recently been in the Super Bowl, have that momentum going a little bit, that revenge factor. I know it worked against us when we played Kansas City in Super Bowl 4.
With me, former Dolphin great Manny Fernandez. And Manny, your thoughts, Super Bowl 26, the 2 best teams in football squaring off.
They're definitely the 2 best in football this year, and I think it's going to be a great game. Looking for probably a Redskin win, unless Buffalo can handle that big offensive line. If they can get that done, Buffalo could win the football game.
And with me is a man who scored the winning touchdown in Super Bowl 8, running back Jim Kick. And Jim, what was it like to score the winning touchdown in a Super Bowl?
Well, it's a great feeling anytime you contribute to a victory like I did. Anytime I cross the goal line, that's my a long run. I guess a breakaway run for me was 3 or 4 yards, but I was very satisfied.
Bob Lurtsema, Bob known worldwide as bench warmer. Bob, Lurch, you get more playing time in this game than I've ever seen in a career.
Oh, I'm totally exhausted. I played almost 5 plays already.
Bob, what do you think? What kind of game do you look for in Super Bowl 26?
I look for a great game, and I know everybody's saying Washington's the best team in football, and Washington will walk away with it. I pick Buffalo to win outright.
Hey, look out, they're coming!
It's been 18 years, but the Minnesota Vikings have finally won a game during Super Bowl week as the Vikings bested the Miami Dolphins in this alumni Super Bowl by a score of 24-20. And the man who scored the winning touchdown with just 1 minute to go, quarterback Bob Lee. Bob, congratulations.
Well, thank you. I've got my cap that popped off on that play in my pocket now.
And again, it was certainly a great way to kick off Super Bowl week here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, as the Vikings again defeated the Miami Dolphins 24-20. For Bob Lee and Stu Voigt, it was a great day indeed.
NFL players and coaches take an active part in community relations, and this year's Super Bowl is no exception. Some very lucky kids are getting hands-on coaching from some of the best players in the league.
Today, I am at the Super Bowl 26 football clinic, where over 47 NFL stars are going to give some hands-on advice to over 1,600 Twin Cities youths, both boys and girls, between the ages of 10 and 14.
I tell you, this is one of the, big thrills for me. When you don't make it to the Super Bowl game, you come and you work the clinics.
It's always a great pleasure to come out and try to share a few things, a few knowledge of the game of football.
Anytime you get an opportunity to come out and talk to the kids, it's always nice to come out and impart some of the things that you know, some of your experiences, in a hope to inspire the kids.
And who else better to teach them than pro athletes themselves?
Up and rise. Next row should be standing. Come on down. Number 12.
We're not magic. We're normal human beings just like you guys are.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here you go. Here you go. Come
Come on, come on. Come on, you gotta work your feet. You gotta work your feet. Work your feet.
I'm hitting you deep now. Hitting you deep. Nice catch. Nice catch.
Good, that's bro. Come on.
Ticket number 052.
Go. Oh, I know you're gonna catch it. I know. Oh, here we go. That's 2. That's okay. You're cute. We won't hold it against you.
We don't only judge on who wins. We judge on enthusiasm and noise level. Back up. Stand up. Over here. Stand up.
Good base and good hitting base. You're shuffling. You just know you hit a cone. Then you pivot.
Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? Second. There we go. Oh, we have a draw. We got a draw. We got it down. All right. Good. Come on.
We want to come up so that we can get over the top over our linemen and all the defensive linemen, and then follow through.
The winner is, we got it on this side. Way to go here, you guys. You go, give me a quick one.
What's your favorite part?
Probably getting passes from the good people, from the pros. Teach you about drugs and stuff.
It's kind of fun, because you get to know the people live.
And you get to work with them and get their autographs.
And you get the autograph.
My son was real excited about participating, and I think he gets an opportunity to perform some skills and learn a few life things from some of these guys.
My son's an athlete and enjoys football, and he was really looking forward to coming today.
Well, working with the kids gives a chance to give back to the community what the community gave to me.
Oh, it's very important to give back to the community and kids in general because they are our future, good or bad. That's what's going to happen to us down the line.
At the same time, we talk to them about the importance of education, the awareness of drugs, and that sort of thing. So hopefully maybe when they come down to having to make that decision, they make the right decision.
Anytime you get a chance to work with kids, you're helping your future. And one of the things we need to do is work with our kids so our future will be better.
Hi, Mom.
NFL players put themselves through rigorous physical training to keep in top physical condition, but they're not above a little extracurricular exercise.
This is Lee Walker inside the Metrodome in Minneapolis for the Great Minnesota Warm-Up Workout. Take a look.
I can't control this thing. You touch my body and it sets me free. I need your love tonight and forevermore. Don't stop giving good love.
Hey, don't stop clapping now. And I'm also the co-chair of this event today, and we want to thank you for coming out. And we take Minnesota to come out in weather like this.
You guys look so great. Smile. Woo! Let me hear you. Yeah. Ready? Alternate. Up and cross. Again. Alternate. Good. You guys look.
Let's start over from the beginning. Here goes. Deep breath in. Make the snow fall. Marching to the snow. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Give me a clap. Great. Push again. Back it up. Push it in. Oh, yeah. Good job. Jump. Shout. Turn to your right. We're going to turn it out. All one. Feet apart. Snowshoes. Pick up that shovel. Let's take it right. Push. Going left. Push your car now. Come on. Push it to the right. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Go. Jump. Shout. And in your loudest voice, yell, hey.
Okay, you ready to go outside and do the winter warm-up workout?
No.
You ready to go outside with the warm-up workout?
Yeah, shoot, it's not cold out there. Come on, 50 below, that's not cold.
It's not 50 below, it's barely 0.
No, it's barely 0. Well, that's a little bit warmer. Maybe I'll go out in my bathing suit or something.
And the night is come.
Now we roll it down. Slow.
Go to soothe the soul.
And roll it up. Now those shoulders. Let it go. Is it all right? You guys having fun? You guys cool down enough so that we can go outside?
We're outside the Metrodome in Minneapolis now. Like with every good aerobic routine, you have a warm-up, Then you have to have a cool down. That's what they're doing now, folks. Sun may be shining, but it is cold. Check it out.
We're gonna turn it out. There you go. One more time.
The Super Bowl attracts sports reporters from all over the country. Every tiny scrap of player information will be scrutinized and reported on. Let's go out to the Dome and see what a typical media day looks like.
This is the Metrodome, home of Super Bowl 26 in downtown Minneapolis. We're still 5 days away from kickoff, but in just a few moments, it will be Media Day for Super Bowl 26. Reporters numbering over 4,000 from just about every country in the world will be here to find out as much as they can about the Buffalo Bills and Washington Redskins.
If you come here trying to make a name for yourself because you asked the question that nobody asked, that's not what we're here for. We're here to cover the game. We're not here to cover ourselves. It's just a football game. It's a great football game. Should be a great game. You try and give folks who are here a feel of what it's like to be here, but you try not to overstate the importance. I mean, we're not planning war strategy here. The AFC has won 3 of the last 4 Super Bowls played in a leap year. So I think if you think of that, it's 92. It's got to be Buffalo.
I know what it was like growing up as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan and watching the Steelers and Bradshaw going to the Super Bowl, saying maybe one of these days I'll be able to do that. And, the best thing that could happen came out of last week's game is we had to work to earn that victory. You look at last year's game, we won 51-3, and we felt, you know, let's just go in and have some fun in the Super Bowl. It was our first one, which we did, but we didn't come out on top. This year, we know what it takes to get here.
If you think about our defense, we have a lot of personnel changes throughout a game. And with the no-huddle offense, it gives us a problem in substituting. Myself, I usually come in on second down and long. It could be a problem with me getting on the field. I've been to 3 Super Bowls prior to this one, and there were times when I was wishing someone would come up and talk to me. So I'm excited. I don't have a problem with the media day. It's part of the ceremony for the Super Bowl. And people around the world want to see and hear what's going on, so I'm here to cooperate.
Actually, we're going to open the show Sunday from me and Ken Herbeck are going to be ice fishing out on one of the 10,000 lakes here in Minnesota. Well, the bad thing about 4,000 media is that at night they're all trying to find tables at restaurants, too. I think the fans are lucky that they do have the 2 best teams, and I think both teams are on a mission. I mean, both teams have said, Washington has said, if we don't win the Super Bowl, our season is kaplunk.
Nate, having played football for the Wisconsin Badgers, kind of a homecoming of sorts to the Midwest for you.
Oh yeah, I enjoy coming back to the Big Ten part of the country. You know, I played here, and I'm used to the Humphrey Dome. I played several games here, and some I won, some I lost. But you know, all in all, I enjoy coming here and playing in the Midwest. you know, even though we didn't win a lot of championships at Wisconsin, we were a very close-knit group. So, you know, I have a lot of friends that are in my corner and hope that I do well.
I'm only here until like 10 o'clock and then I gotta go.
You guys are great. You're sitting around, you talk to everybody.
So basically, we're just going to cover the angles of what the guys are up to and how, especially the Bills, you know, sort of like what they're going to do different this year if they need to do anything different. But the guys seem to be pretty confident that they don't have to change anything.
Julie, finally, quick prediction on the game.
Just as long as nobody gets hurt, I just want everybody to like have fun. They said it wasn't going to be as exciting as last year, but I call that a wrong prediction. I think it's going to be more exciting.
Back up, my turn. Over here. Here we are, Media Day in Minneapolis, and my co-host, the Jim Kelly Show. One last thing, Ed. You're out. Next. No. Let me ask you.
Okay.
We put your microphone down. Your name?
Ken Resnick.
Ken, where are you from?
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis. Well, next question. Question for you. What's it like to have all this media people here and all the attention? And as a matter of fact, you get some competition this week, don't you?
Absolutely, but I mean, what an honor standing next to Jim Kelly, being interviewed by him. One of the great honors of my career.
Now tell the truth.
Oh, I think it's great.
We got to realize one thing: we're here for business, and we're here to take that ring and trophy back to Buffalo, and hopefully we'll do it. But we got a tough task ahead of us, but I think we can do it. Well, we've been on a mission all the time. I think if you heard us, Mission Minneapolis, and we're on a mission. It's just a matter of conquering and taking it home.
What's it like for a rookie to suddenly find yourself under an international magnifying glass, if you will?
Hey, this is great. If this is a magnifying glass, I'd like to be here as much as possible. I'm having a good time, and there's nothing better than this. This is the biggest football game you can play in, and I'm here. Like our coach always says, eventually it's going to get down to the coverage late in the ball game, and I don't think we're feeling any pressure, though. You know, we've faced good receivers and excellent talent all throughout the year, and the posse from the Washington Redskins is going to be another challenge for us.
Never the different Bills. We're a team that has character like we have now, that has played together, that has been team-oriented. I just think we kept working them, kept trying to sell our players on how you prepare. The most important thing in team morale is how you prepare, how prepared a player feels when he goes into a game. The Redskins do a magnificent job of that.
What we have here is the two most exciting teams in the NFL, and the two best records, the two best offenses, a couple of great quarterbacks.
In many ways, I would rather cover a high school football game because there are the same number of football players and less reporters.
It is the Super Bowl. Everything is accelerated. Everything is exaggerated. But I think this is good because it's a chance for everyone to be a little bit casual with the players. You know, usually we're talking to them when they're tired after a game or they're tense before the game.
Well, I don't think I can really get a unique perspective on the Super Bowl. No one has a unique perspective here. I'm going to try to do a couple of stories that will contrast and compare various personalities. I mean, I'm intrigued by the matchup of Lofton and Monk, who are two men who have many similarities, who will be on opposite sides.
Yesterday I went ice fishing with John Madden about 2 hours north of here. We drilled the holes in the ice and we sat on the turned over buckets and caught those walleye.
I think that a few bad plays, the win factors and things like that can change a game. We looked at, you know, we got a lot of films on breakdowns, and you take a little bit of something here, a little bit of idea here, and we have really seven films that we're really looking at.
This year is been able to play at a level up at the top year in and year out, or week in and week out. And that's what you need to do.
The thing about this game is that everybody from almost midway through the season till now, we're begging for Washington and begging for Buffalo. And hopefully the two best teams are here and we can, you know, treat all the fans to a great game.
You can't lie while you're in Minnesota, but tell the actual height.
I am telling the truth.
All right.
Sitting down right. If I stand up and they took a measuring tape, I'll be 5'9", 3'4".
I feel that, you know, if I get in a game, just like the Giants game and the other games, I'm just going there and just do the best I can, you know, and hopefully I can make the best of it. I think it's up to the line of our team and the line of Buffalo. Whoever controls the line of scrimmage, I think that's going to be the prosperous team because in the Super Bowls, you know, the running game is always the one that's key. And I think if we get the running game going, things will work out for us.
Is there any more pressure on you, the fact you are playing back in your hometown as opposed to a more neutral site from a family standpoint?
I think there'll be a little more pressure during the week, but I think once the game starts, it'll be pushed away, and the Super Bowl is what's at hand, and getting that ring.
Wait, this is private. The Super Bowl in a little bit of a different light with all the hoopla and media crunch surrounding it. This year's Super Bowl is a little special to you. Last year, playing your first Super Bowl, your father wasn't able to watch the game at all. He was very involved in Desert Storm.
I tell you what, and that's probably one thing I can really sit back, not necessarily relax, but I guess all that pressure's off of me, wondering if my dad was ever going to come home, if he was going to be mentally or physically injured or something like that, and just having him be a part of my childhood dream and goal to play in the Super Bowl.
I think this Super Bowl will be hard-hitting. It'll be fast. I think it'll be a quick one. I think you've got, see, the thing about this one is you've got just great individuals on everywhere you look, offense, defense, special teams. You have great individual players. I think for Mark Rippon, it's like, God, look at all these people. I mean, it was funny talking to him earlier in the week after the championship game. He thought 40 or 50 reporters at Redskin Park was a lot. He said, I can't believe all these people have come here to Redskin Park to talk to me. I thought, you wait. Joe Gibbs is modeling this work week after the 1987 team. Not the 84 team that lost to Tampa Bay, but the 87 team. Anything they did and everything they did in preparation for that game, he's going to do this week.
The road to the Super Bowl is an emotional roller coaster for both player and fan alike. We had a chance to listen to the players' point of view. Now we're going to turn back the clock and travel to Washington and Buffalo on the eve of the AFC and NFC Conference Championship games and see how the fans felt about their team's chances.
Sausage. Yeah, the Bills asked us they wanted to serve their head on a platter, so we did it.
Here we go, Skip!
This is fun.
Here we go, Skip!
Yes, it is.
Here we go, Skip! Super Bowl!
Come on, I could do this. I could do this. I could do this for a living. Anytime?
Right. All right, go Buffalo! Buffalo! Get some booty.
This is the official Buffalo Bill helmet, right? Yes, it is.
I work at the Department of Defense, the Pentagon, as personnel specialist.
Who's going to win today?
Well, Sarah, what colors do I have on?
And even the nails are done out here today.
You heard it here. Minneapolis or bust. That's what she said. Super Bowl! Super Bowl! Super Bowl! Super Bowl! Super Bowl!
Gonna win, go all the way. Super Bowl.
All the way from Albuquerque. Plane delays, rain, sleet, snow, and I'm here.
Are you a mail carrier? Looks like Sam's got the little watchman. He's going to catch all the replays here today.
We live about 4 or 5 blocks from the stadium. We bought the house here about 6 years ago so we could be close to the Redskins.
Behind me, the White House, the seat of power. This great country of ours, George Bush, perhaps the single most powerful man in the world, is in that building right now. I know because we just dropped him off. We had some Japanese food. He had to go right home. He was going to go to the game today, but he couldn't get a ticket. So he's watching on a big screen TV. You know it's going to be a good game if the President of the United States can't get in.
Bills are going to do it. They're #1.
We don't hear that Shua accent in Minneapolis.
Oh, you're going to hear a lot of it next couple weeks. I just knew they were going to win it. I just knew it.
Take a bite of the lion. Don't eat him up. Don't eat him up for the game.
The Redskins are going to win today unless God comes down and plays for the Detroit Lions, and even then, I'm not sure they'd win. Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
Again.
Oh, Minnesota's going to be nice, but the Redskins fans, they're warming the place up.
This is a piece of art, isn't it?
Yes, thank you very much.
Do you own this?
Yes, sir.
Is this a cab?
No, it's my personal car.
We're head of security out here at the parking lot. Everybody's in line. No partying, no drinking, no beach balls.
Can you hold pom-pom?
I don't know. Whoops, no, I guess I can't.
Buffalo, get hot. And when we chant, we really rock. So God, Buffalo, we're hot. So we, woo! Hurrah!
All the way, Minneapolis, here we go! Buffalo! Super Bowl! Oh.
Your guess is good as mine.
Buffalo.
We're going to win the Super Bowl.
This crowd is definitely electric. They sense they're going to the Super Bowl. It's a party down here in the stands. They're going nuts.
As promised, most of the Super Bowl activities and parties take place indoors out of the cold. But this is Minnesota, and what trip to Minnesota would be complete without checking out the biggest winter outdoor party of them all, the St. Paul Winter Carnival.
Hi, I'm standing here on Harriet Island in front of the centerpiece of St. Paul's Winter Carnival, the spectacular ice castle, where crews are frantically preparing for tonight's opening ceremonies. It rises over 165 feet above Harriet Island on the Mississippi River in downtown St. Paul. It's built from over 30,000 crystal clear blocks of ice, each weighing over 600 pounds. The blocks were cut from Green Lake near Spicer, Minnesota, the cleanest lake in the state and the second cleanest in the country. Tonight, they'll officially light it up in front of 250,000 Winter Carnival spectators and top it off with a spectacular fireworks display. We'll see that a little later tonight, but for now, let's take in a few of the over 100 spectacular wintertime carnival events. We're here in Rice Park, where 40 carvers were hard at work competing in the ice sculpture competition. Let's take a look at a few of the masterpieces. These are the two men that built this beautiful ice sculpture. Tom, how many blocks of ice did it take you to build this sculpture?
Every sculptor in the park there was given 20 blocks of ice, each block measuring about 10 by 20 by 40 inches, and the name of the game was to just stack the ice and do whatever you could with it.
And how long would it take you to build this?
Well, we started Monday morning at 10 o'clock, and the competition ended this morning at 10, so it's a 48-hour competition.
And what kind of utensils, Todd, does it take to build something of this nature?
Basically a lot of carpenter tools, chainsaws, grinders, anything. They'll let you use anything you want.
looks like fun. It's a 750-foot ice slide made out of 2,700 blocks of ice. Come on, let's go for a ride. Now, it gets cold here in St. Paul, so for our warm weather fans, you can purchase the Super Bowl 26 Cold Weather Pack, complete with hat, gloves, jacket, boots, socks, turtleneck, and long underwear. No winter carnival would be complete without a parade, and this is just one of a few happening over the next 5 days. Let's follow this torchlight parade down to Harriet Island and the grand opening of the world's largest ice palace. So far, reporter Jim Cunningham is yet to find the ultimate Super Bowl fan, but we've decided to give him one more chance. Good luck, Jim.
This is Jim Cunningham inside the Metrodome, still looking for the super fan. And I think I found a father and son duo from Buffalo who come pretty close. Meet Bill and Bill Winter Jr. Hi, guys.
Hi, Jim.
Hey, are we on TV? Hey, Stinky.
Well, you two are here kind of early, aren't you?
Well, Jim, the boy and I have been planning this since the first game of the season. As a matter of fact, when we saw the Buffalo defense shut down Denver, well, we loaded up the station wagon right then and headed west. We didn't want to miss a minute of the big game.
Go Bills.
Did we get the wrong seats there?
Well, I don't know, son. Maybe I should check the
No,
tickets.
no, guys, I meant... Oh, I get it. You two are the Bills from Buffalo.
That's us.
That's cute.
Dad, look, it's him.
Who is it, John Madden?
No, it's the guy that raises the net for the extra point. Wow, cool.
That's my little fullback.
Well, you two sure are excited. Is this your first Super Bowl?
Show him, Dad, show him.
I've got tickets from all 26 Super Bowls here, Jim. As a matter of fact, now there's a cleat mark from Vince Lombardi in 1967 Super Bowl II, and over here, now that's the autograph of Mike Ditka.
That's just an X.
Oh yeah, proof positive.
Well, if you fellas have been here all week, what have you been doing to keep busy?
Well, we get to eat a lot of fast food, and we've been practicing the wave.
That's very nice, isn't it?
Play simulations all the past Super Bowls on my laptop, while Dad dreams about his old high school football days.
after watching all these Super Bowl fans having such a good time, we've decided there is no one super fan.
Each one of you who cheers on your team at stadiums, watering holes, and in your homes, you're all great fans.
So we're giving all of you fans out there the right to call yourself the ultimate Super Bowl fan. In fact, give yourselves a cheer.
That's it for Super Bowl Party 26.
Hey, thanks for watching, and look for us next year at Super Bowl Party 27. So long, everybody.
Bye.
Look for Super Bowl Party 26 Volume 2, the final 4 days. Regularly $19.95, yours for just $9.95.